I've always felt like donuts, burgers, and french fries were screaming out loud, "Eat me!" Of course, I could never resist them. And looking at me, that's not too hard to believe, right? Hi, I'm Judy. I love sweets just as much as I hate my reflection in the mirror. I had never been skinny, just like my mom, although she always said I was beautiful and pampered me with delicious food. But I dreamed of losing weight. One night, I even dreamed that I was slim and fit. Some boys tossed me into the air during a cheerleader's performance, and I did a somersault. Everyone admired me and applauded. It was so cool. And the next day, I went to school in a great mood. I felt like that dream was a good sign, and I would definitely be able to lose weight. But I never got lucky, and that day was no exception. Soon enough, my mood was ruined. And here's why. I was on my way to chemistry class when I suddenly tripped and fell right on a boy from junior high. He was very skinny and immediately screamed, "My hand! My hand!" I turned red and stood up clumsily. Everyone started laughing at me. I felt so humiliated that I burst out crying and ran away. I skipped chemistry and came to the canteen, picked a lot of delicious snacks, sat down at a far table away from everyone, and started to stress eat. It usually helped, but not this time. I felt terribly weak, and I burst into tears again. But then, Linda came up to my table and started comforting me. My friend knew just what to say, and soon I felt a bit better. And then I got an idea. "Linda, doesn't your brother work as a personal trainer in an awesome gym? Could you ask him to give me lessons?" Linda hesitated, and I folded my hands, looking at her pleadingly. "Please, I can't do this anymore." I was great at making pleading eyes, just like Puss in Boots in that one scene in Shrek 2, and my friend gave in. The very next day, I went to the gym and met my coach. Derek looked absolutely amazing, and everyone else in that gym seemed to have stepped right off a cover of a magazine. Compared to them, I felt like a clumsy hippo, but Derek was very friendly. He suggested that I go to stretching and acrobatics classes first. The former was held that same day. When I went there, I met Carrie. She was beautiful and slim. When she saw me struggling with exercises, she laughed at me quietly. I felt embarrassed and ashamed of myself, but Derek's support gave me confidence. I started going to the gym several times a week. It was very hard, but I didn't give up. I remembered the feeling from my dream where I was light as a feather. I kept striving towards my goal, and the first results were not long in coming. Just imagine, I learned how to do a cartwheel and the splits. One day, a soccer tournament was announced at our school. Not that long ago, I would have just sat on the bleachers. But now, I wanted to participate. I came up to a couple of my classmates and suggested we perform a dance to support our school team. At first, they laughed and refused, but I offered them my help with the test, and that convinced them. However, Linda didn't support my idea. "I don't think you're ready yet. It's too early for you to perform in front of an audience." I just waved her off. Nonsense! I was sure it'd be fine. But on the day of the match, I got terribly nervous. Before I knew it, I'd already eaten a pack of chips and chocolate crackers. During the first time out, we ran out onto the field. At first, I didn't feel very confident, but bit by bit, I started to relax. Our performance was going great. The audience looked at us with interest and even clapped. Suddenly, I remembered my dream. I decided to take a chance, and I asked the guys to toss me into the air so I could do a somersault. They didn't want to because we hadn't rehearsed it. "I'll help you with the final test and give you the phone number of the prettiest girl in school." The guys all exchanged glances and agreed. They joined hands, and I tried to stand on them, looking forward to my triumph. But they failed to get me up, and the three of us fell to the ground. The audience roared with laughter. It was so humiliating that I burst into tears. Why was I so unlucky? Unable to endure the humiliation, I ran away again. I came to the next training session in a terrible mood. I immediately told Derek I didn't want to train anymore. This wasn't getting me anywhere. "You already know how to do a cartwheel in the splits. Even if no one in your school believes that you're the most athletic girl there, it's true. You have a sporting spirit. Everyone will envy you." His words made me believe in myself again. So I decided to continue training. Soon, I started to notice that Derek and Carrie spent a lot of time together. They even came to the gym and left together. One day, I even saw them sitting at the same table in a cafe. Derek was saying something and Carrie was giggling stupidly. Maybe they were dating. I decided to mind my own business and focus on training. Although, to be honest, I really didn't like Carrie. One day, Derek walked into the gym with a satisfied grin. He announced that a producer had recently approached him with a request to find a model for a music video of a famous musician. The producer was supposed to come the next day to see the candidates. Of course, I wanted them to choose me. But in the locker room, Carrie said that I shouldn't get my hopes up and they would choose her. Ugh, I got angry and I decided to beat that wannabe star using any means necessary. The next day, Carrie was the first to speak to the producer. She performed several acrobatic stunts, and admittedly, she looked good. And then it was my turn, and I turned on dynamic music. I had prepared a whole performance, and I combined acrobatic stunts with other dance moves. I tried really, really hard, and I gave it my all. And in the end, of course, I did a cartwheel and the splits. While the producer was making the decision, I thought I would faint from fatigue and excitement. I really wanted to win, but I did realize that my chances were low. I had already come to terms with yet another defeat when the producer announced that he chose me. Somebody pinched me. Was I dreaming? No, this was real. Derek congratulated me, and Carrie ground her teeth in anger. A couple of days later, I headed to the filming set of the music video. It was so exciting and so cool. Professional makeup artists did their magic, and stylists chose several outfits for me. I danced and even improvised a little. Then, I asked the producer what the video would be about. He said it'd be released in a few days, and I would find out everything for myself. Of course, I was dying of curiosity. After the weekend, I came to the school feeling like a celebrity. I even walked differently. Now, everyone who used to make fun of me would see just how amazing I was. Now, let's pause and rewind a bit. Remember when I said I never got lucky? Unfortunately, that doesn't change. At first, everything went great. I told everyone that I'd starred in a cool artist's music video. Linda was especially happy for me and congratulated me on my success. But then, the guys who had helped me with their performance found the video and started laughing. I didn't understand what was going on, and I opened YouTube too. I found the video, and when I saw it, I wanted to cry again. It was making fun of my body. The song was actually about a dancing cow. I had lost count of how many times I'd ran away from everyone in tears. But being in a classroom while everyone was laughing at me again was unbearable. At home, I told my mom everything. She hugged me and stroked my head like I was still a little girl. I like it. It's quite funny. A chubby girl moving like that is so cool. Mom's words inspired me. Maybe she was right. From that day on, I started working out with even more zeal. I went to more training sessions and stayed in the gym after everyone had left. One evening, when there was no one else there, I accidentally overheard a conversation. I'm so sick of her. How can I explain to her that she stands no chance? She shouldn't be coming here. I know. I'm sorry I asked you to train her. That came as a shock to me. Had they been deceiving me this whole time? Pretending like I was doing great and laughing behind my back? They were worse than everyone else. Pretending like we were friends was so cruel. I'd never felt so wronged before, and I decided I wouldn't go back to the gym. When I got home, I took junk food from the refrigerator and locked myself in my room. I ate everything. Carbs, sweets, fried food. It didn't matter anymore. I told my mom that I wasn't feeling well, and I skipped school. Linda and Derek called me a lot, but I didn't answer. I didn't want to talk to liars. I watched videos on YouTube for a while, but in the end, I couldn't stand it any longer. So many people were discussing the fat girl's dance. My dance. I couldn't bear to watch it. To get my mind off things, I decided to go to a cinema. I chose a time when my mom would be at work. She still thought I was sick. As I was buying the tickets, I suddenly saw Derek. Oh no, I didn't want to run into him. So I quickly hid in a storeroom. I was waiting for him to leave, but then the door suddenly opened and Derek ran inside. It seemed like he was hiding from someone too. We looked at each other in silence for a few moments. At first, I wanted to proudly keep silent, but in the end, I couldn't help myself. I told Derek that I'd heard him and Linda talking. Why did you lie to me? I heard you say I didn't have a chance. Derek looked at me in surprise, and then he realized what this was all about. Oh, I get it now. But Judy, we weren't talking about you. We were talking about Carrie. Linda brought her to the gym too. Carrie said she was in love with me and wouldn't leave me alone after that. But I realized that our practices weren't getting anywhere and we wouldn't be happy together either, because she's awful. That's when I told Linda about everything. And now I'm hiding from Carrie because she's been stalking me. My mind went blank for a while. So, I was wrong? I had misunderstood everything and got mad for no reason. That was so stupid. I looked out of the room and saw Carrie. She looked annoyed, and she was being rude to both cinema workers and visitors. What an unpleasant girl! Seriously! I decided I would make amends and help Derek get rid of her. I'll save you. As soon as you hear Carrie scream, run. I opened the door, rushed straight towards her, and acted like I wanted to hug her. Carrie! What a surprise! We haven't seen each other in a while. I missed you so much. Carrie recoiled when she saw me, but she had nowhere to run. I fell on top of her and pinned her to the floor with all my weight. Carrie immediately screamed, and I noticed Derek slipping out of the storeroom. He gave me a thumbs up and quickly left. I expected everyone to laugh at me, but to my surprise, they started applauding. At that moment, I felt really great. Apparently, everyone had grown tired of Carrie. The next day, I woke up in a great mood. Life was wonderful. Linda and Derek hadn't betrayed me, and I'd been wrong to doubt them. I ate my favorite waffles with bacon and my mom's pie for breakfast. It was time to stop skipping school, so I went there. The first thing I did was say sorry to Linda for ignoring her these past few days. We were chatting in the hallway when we suddenly heard the loud voices of the boys I'd performed with during the tournament. Look, it's our star! As I got closer, I fearfully looked at the tablet they were holding. They were looking at a video of the incident in the cinema. It turned out that someone had been filming Carrie harassing everyone, and had also filmed me knocking her to the floor. The video had gotten a lot of views on YouTube. I was afraid I'd be laughed at again, but the complete opposite happened. My classmates began to admire me, and they said that I had a lot of acting talent. Can you imagine? There were a lot of positive comments under the video. Everyone recognized me from the music video and commented that I was cool. I was over the moon! And after school, I came back to the gym again. Derek thanked me and told me that I was very athletic and artistic. We were chatting when the producer who'd filmed me suddenly walked in and quickly came up to me.
The audience loves you. It's a real success. I have another job offer for you. How would you like to star in a TV series?
I felt my eyes light up. If I were in a cartoon, stars probably would have appeared in them. Of course, I wanted to, but remember how I said I never get lucky? The producer said I would get the role of a funny fat woman. I got a little upset and asked him for some time to think about it. At home, I told my mom about everything, and I asked her for advice. I didn't know if I should agree on the offer or not. Mom looked at me with sympathy and understanding.
Honey, look at me and your dad. We aren't slim at all, and your grandparents are also prone to fatness. It's just genetics. It will always be much harder for us to lose weight than other people. But you're an athletic, chubby girl, and that's what people like. There are a lot of slender and elegant people, but there are only a few girls like you.
I thought about my mom's words. Of course, she was right in some ways, but then I remembered my dream again. I wanted to be slim, so bad, and for some reason, I feel like I'll be able to achieve it if I just keep trying. What do you think? Should I stay the way everyone wants me to be? Or should I try and cheat my genetics by losing weight? Write it down in the comments below.